Hey, welcome to Confessions of an Ag Teacher Educator. This is episode 17 of Methods of Teaching Agriculture. Now, today in the 412 class, we took a moment to reflect where we've been, but also to talk about the great opportunity of Teach Ag Chat and using Twitter in our professional development. Okay, whoa. You see some people standing around me. We have guests on this episode of Confessions. We have Kayla Hack. She'll be student teaching at Pequay Valley with Doug Mosser this spring. We have Nathan Repitz, student teaching at Central Columbia with Doug Brown. And a junior, our Teach Ag Chat intern, George Dietrich, fresh back from South Dakota, having a great time there, to share some thoughts and ideas of how did this lab session go for technology and using Twitter in ag education. So the first question, and I'll let either one of you guys answer it. Why? Starting with the why do we have Twitter as part of our teacher preparation program?
One way for us to engage with other professionals that are states away or possibly even international, to engage with them and see what their ideas are on different topics in ag ed.
Cool. What do you think, Nate?
I believe that as a professional, we need to brand ourselves and start working at that as soon as we can. And this gives us the chance to put our name out there as a future ag teacher. For, say, national convention coming up, you might run into somebody and, I remember you from Teach Ag Chat, and there you have an instant connection.
An opportunity to show closer networks, pre-service candidates. Hey, fellow teacher educators, have your candidates engaged so they can meet these guys, and maybe at national convention they can have some professional dialogue and talk about the things that they're approaching. Now, as we address that, we all know when we do something new, there's positive and negative. So we're going to ask this question both ways. You can share what you want, gang. And by the way, I don't get them prepping much. They just kind of have to take it as it comes. What's one thing that you're really excited about regarding your obligation to cultivate, curate, and host a Teach Ag Chat session?
Our group's Teach Ag Chat is about SAEs and thinking in and outside the box. And so I am excited to hear from people that have been doing SAE in their classroom and things that have gone really well and not gone so well, and what that might look like in communities and just best practices as I enter the classroom.
You know, there's about 60 people that were just at a national SAE summit that I hope heard that and are as excited as I am to engage with her about where work-based learning and ag education could go. And we could share these great ideas. We could dream big. We could say, wouldn't it be cool if? Nate, what about you? What are you excited about?
Well, as part of this Teach Ag Chat that we're hosting, we have to go search out professionals to join us. So I'm looking forward to seeing who does join us, but I'm most excited to see who just shows up. Who hears about it through the grapevine and shows up and drops some comments that nobody saw coming.
Right. You know, sometimes we say luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Sometimes professional growing and networks and professional growth is when you just put out that point of engagement that's possible. All right. What are we afraid of?
That sometimes people won't answer our questions, but also there's some really great people doing SAE stuff that aren't on Twitter.
Sure. The barrier platform adoption, and how can we help people feel safe and accessible? How can we let them know that the best way to interact with Teach Ag Chat is TweetDeck, for example, to keep it rolling and understand what's happening? That's a great point. I understand that. What do you think? Do you have a fear?
It's probably, as the questions come out, obviously for my chat, I'll have the time to think about these in advance, what I want to answer. But when all the answers start coming and you want to make comments, make the comments in your head and get it on the Twitter platform in enough time that it's still relevant by the time it gets out there.
Makes sense. So, George, if I was listening to this and I was excited and said, wait a minute, Teach Ag Chat, I've totally missed this. What should they do? How can they connect? Where would they find information?
Well, okay, so there's a couple different areas where you can look to get some information. First off, just searching the Twitter hashtag Teach Ag Chat, and then looking at it from just top popular tweets and also just most recent tweets. It'll really give you an idea of how the hashtag has been used and how it actually helps with Teach Ag Chat. There's also a blog, and that is teachagchat.blog.com.
.blogspot,
my bad. And that is where that is, and there's a lot of stuff out there, ranging from just tips and tricks from previous hosts, and also just some other things out there, such as the schedule for this fall and whatnot.
Now, hey, you're the Teach Ag Chat intern. If they're a group and wanted to host and had a good idea, what's the first opportunity? I don't know if he knows this. What's the first opportunity they could schedule and host a chat?
I believe the first opportunity is, I should know this.
It's okay.
I want to say it's actually next fall because I believe the spring schedule's already full.
Spring is full, but there are some opportunities in the summer, and then we do have the fall. So we're scheduling that far out. Take some planning horizon there for you to engage. Got a great spring lineup prepared. If you had questions and they wanted to contact you, George, via email, what would be your email?
My email is ghd5023@psu.edu.
One more time.
ghd5023@psu.edu.
And of course, on Twitter, your handle is?
My Twitter is the George4H.
The George4H. Isn't that cool? Your Twitter handle is?
@HackKayla.
That makes sense. Simple, straightforward. Kayla Hack, @HackKayla.
And mine is @NateRepetz, but it's N8_REPETZ.
Isn't that fun? And if you were to search the hashtag PSUAg17, you could find both of these guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time on Confessions of an Ag Teacher Educator.